You might need to hear this morning. Go where God is calling you to go. He's going to be there. In our devotions this week, we found ourselves getting into the story of Jonah. We all know Jonah and how he got swallowed by this huge fish, and he was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. At the beginning of that story, though, in Jonah chapter 1, I want to read some things and then talk about it. It says in verses 2 through 3, "Arise," the Lord is speaking to Jonah. "Arise, get up, go to Nineveh, the great city, and call out against it, for their evil has come up before me." But Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. That really jumped out from me. Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish, away from, in the other direction of the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa and he found a ship going to Tarshish, and he paid the fare and went down to it to go with them to Tarshish. And again, at the end of this verse, it says, away from the presence of the Lord. Here's a reality that I really want us to grab a hold of. That when God calls us to go somewhere, His presence is going ahead of us in that direction. And so when God calls us to act on something, to go in a specific direction, to take this action, He's already going to be there. And so our choice is to obey and run towards the presence of God, or to disobey and run away from the presence of God. I, for one, want to run towards the presence of God. And I've experienced this. This is a promise of the Scriptures. For those who draw near to God, God will draw near to you. To those who run towards the presence of God, who run towards what God is calling them to do, we're going to encounter the presence of the God. He's going to make a way for us in that direction. It's just time and time and time again for me, from becoming a pastor, from moving here to Idaho Falls. It's been just call after call after call of stepping out in faith, of God saying, here's where I'm calling you to go. Here's where I am paving the path for you. Now, what a beautiful imagery, right? God is paving the path for us, and He's calling us to step onto that paved path. And oftentimes, our hearts want us to pull in the other direction, just like Jonah did. But we have to recognize that as we pull in the opposite direction, we're stepping off of the paved path. We're stepping away from where the Lord already has His provision set for us, and we're gonna experience some turmoil, some pain, just like Jonah did as he got cast into in the midst of this huge storm and into the waters and all of this. But so eventually Jonah gets to this place of obeying the voice of God, and the encouragement is let's just start there. I know some of us have been hearing this prompting of the Lord to go, to step out, to arise, and to go. And we've been saying, no, I'm comfortable right here. I want to be right here. But right here isn't where God is calling us to be. So arise, go up. Where God's calling you, His presence will be, and His provision will be, and His blessing will be. So let's go there.